guys, and welcome to another Wi-Fi battle. This one's against Casador Perfect. You better know who this guy is, because he's one of the best valors on YouTube. So, yeah, he leads off with Tauros, and I lead off with Fortress, and he switches out to his Blastoise. So I set up spikes, because I didn't know what that thing was going to do, and I switched to Credilla here, because I know Credilla can take any special attacks like a beast, and he takes that Surf just like I thought he would. And this Blastoise here uses Rapid Spin just to get rid of the spikes. I use Toxic on it just to maybe Toxic stall it. And he gets hit with Poison there, so my Credilla gets left over. He switches to his Ice Stink, and my Credilla uses Giga Drain here, and it takes some experience or some HP, but it doesn't do like much. So I switch out my Credilla here for my Fortress, and he uses Taunt, and pretty much Fortress is useless here, so I explode. But he brings out his Diamond, which is a Sableye, and his Diamond takes like a beast, because of course he doesn't get hit because he's Ghost. So I switch into Credilla here, and he uses Knockoff and takes off my leftovers, and I just Toxic him because I felt like it, and he gets hit with the Poison here. And I switch out my Credilla for my Arcanine because I wanted to know what this thing was going to do, and I thought it would use Will-O-Wisp or some shit like that, so I just switched in there, and he uses Will-O-Wisp, and my Arcanine takes out like a beast, and he gets hit with the Poison, so he switches out to his Blastoise here, and I use Fire Blast because I didn't know what that Sableye was going to do. I didn't even think he was going to switch out, so yeah, Blastoise takes like Fire Blast like a monster. And he gets hit with the Poison here. Doesn't take much because he just switched in. So I switched in Credilla here, fearing the Ice Beam or Surf or some shit like that. I really thought he was going to use a Surf, but he predicted me switching to Credilla, and he uses Ice Beam. And my Credilla gets frozen here, which is retarded because this was definitely a changing point in the match. Because this Credilla would have done a shit ton of fucking damage. Because Credilla is just that much of a beast. So he uses Heal Bell with his Aquario. And pretty much after this, it's good game right here because he healed all the poison off all his guys, which is really gay. So I switch in for Alligator here because I know that he can take an Ice Beam like a beast. I was fearing he would get frozen there, so it kind of scared me there. So he switches out to his Tauros because he knows like I'm gonna Dragon Dance or some shit like that, and I do Dragon Dance. And I switch out because I know that thing will do some pretty big damage to me because I think it's like Choice Bandit or Scarf, I'm not really sure, so I thought out here on the last second, which didn't really matter because my Credilla is going to die no matter what because it doesn't have leftovers, so couldn't even get health back there, so yeah. My Credilla dies, which was definitely the turning point, like I said. I switch into Arcanine here, and I use Fire Blast because that's the only really move I can use, or I use Will-O-Wisp because I thought he was going to stay in with his Tauros, and if I got that Will-O-Wisp on his Tauros, it would have definitely helped me, and it would have been another turning point in the match because that Tauros was dominating me. So he switches out to his Tauros here. He predicted I would switch into something else, I guess, and he gets intimidated on by my Zapdos, and he uses Stone Edge here, and he gets a crit, I believe. I don't know if this crit really mattered. I'm pretty sure it did because Zapdos can take those can take physical hits like that pretty good, but I really don't know. But no matter what, he still got the hack, so that's not good, I guess. So I use Thunder Punch here because I know he's going to switch out to Sableye or something that can take a high jump kick pretty good. So I switch out of a Sableye because I know Thunder Punch isn't going to kill this thing, and he switches out to, or I switch out in Arcanine here after because I don't want to get hit with like some type of other move. Like he could have knocked off my Choice Scarf there, and that would have sucked. So he switches out to his Aquario, and I use Thunder Punch here, and I get a crit here, which was revenge for him getting those crits and, you know, all that other stuff. And I get the crit there, of course, and his Aquario dies, thank God. I did not want that thing alive. And he switches out to his Toro, and gets intimidated off on me, and I'm like, fuck no, I'm not going to let this Intimidate do anything against me. So I switch into Arcanine, and I get the Intimidate off on this Toro. And check how much this Toro does with a fucking return on my Arcanine. My Arcanine is pretty bulky, and there's a ton. So he switches out to Blastoise, and I use Morning Sun here just to get my health back, because I was fearing that he would use an Earthquake, and maybe it would have got me pretty low, so I didn't know. So of course he switched to Blastoise, and I switch out here on my Arcanine because I don't want to get hit with a Surf in the face. So he uses a Surf on my for Alligator after I switch in him, and he gets some leftovers, and gets hit with the Burn again. I think I yeah, I earthquake here with for alligator because I knew he was gonna like switch into something that could. He should have switched into Toros here. To say the truth, that was not a good move on his part. But I mean, I had a couple of those bad moves in this game as well, so that's not that big a deal. So he switches out to his armory here. I don't know why. And then he withdraws it again and goes to Blastoise because he knows I'm going to use Fire Blast. And if I use Toxic or uh, fuck, what's that move called? Will-O-Wisp, it wouldn't have done anything. So the only move I could have used was Fire Blast. So there's no point. But it missed anyway, so it didn't matter. He switches his Toro here, thinking I would switch in for Alligator, and he was right. He gets intimidated off of Alligator, and I switch on my Alligator from Arcanine. And this thing uses Earthquake, I believe. I should have stayed in with Feraligatr and let him die because I could have maybe gotten a Will-O-Wisp pop on this Toro. So yeah, that kind of sucked. My Arcanine doesn't take that Earthquake well, and of course he doesn't have the leftovers. So if he had leftovers, he could probably live 2 Earthquakes from this thing because he's that bulky. So I send out Jet Li here because I know he's gonna switch out. So I just want to kill something off with Thunder Punch here, and he switches out to his Diamond, which is a Sableye, and it gets killed as I thought it would because he thought I would use a high jump kick, but I didn't, and that thing doesn't take that well, and he dies. So yeah, I switched into for Alligator here because I knew that Intimidate was gonna do some pretty. It's gonna be pretty huge. So yeah, I get the return. I get hit with the return here in the face by a Feraligatr. That's now Jet Li because he owns everything because he's Jet Li. So I use high jump kick here and I miss, and I'm like, fuck! You gotta be kidding me. There's no way I can win now, is what I was thinking. So he gets hit with the burn here, and I fucking hit with the second one, thank God. But in the end, that didn't really matter here, because you'll see here that he uses Sucker Punch with a Stunky, which would have not killed me if, you know, I didn't get hit, like mixed with that high jump kick. So that was a good game, Casador. I'm gonna put his channel on the details and check him out.